Is reading fiction or stories or fairy tales or whatever better than watching movies or cinematography about those things? Let's talk about it. Hello, people. Today I'm going to make a video about how I think reading a certain story or fiction or anything related to that is better, in my opinion, than watching a movie about it or the depiction of it through cinematography. Now, before I start, just let me make it clear it's totally an opinion, and I had nothing better to do than make a video about it, so I'm doing it. Now that that's out of the way, let's start talking about it. Now, I would like to start with talking about books. So, books, say fiction or storytelling or psychology or any genre, any kind of literature, I think it's one of the best ways to understand your imagination the most and bring out the most of it. Now, I know I'm not making a lot of sense right now, but it will eventually make sense as I go on about it. Now, I'm someone who hasn't read a lot of novels. I'm a new reader. I haven't even read double-digit numbers of novels. But I have watched a lot of movies and stuff like anime and stuff like that. But I would still say reading something and understanding what the writer or the author was trying to tell you, or imagining in your head what the author is writing in the book, is a lot more fun than just watching it happen in front of you. Now, when asked this question that whether you would enjoy reading or watching, it would differ the answers because everyone has their own opinion and perspective about it. But this video is basically me telling why I think reading is better. Now, let me get this straight, right? Watching it happen in front of your eyes, something would be amazing, right? Something which looks good and appealing to your eyes, and something which has a good plot, right? It could be fiction, or it could be a kind of story or anything. Watching it happen in front of you in a pleasing way or in an aesthetical depiction, it would be great, right? But my point of view to that is you are watching something happen in front of you by the director's point of view, by the movie creator's point of view, right? Now, say if the movie is based on a novel or a comic book or something like that, the way the movie maker or the director depicted that novel or depicted what the writer wrote is the way they will show it in the movie. Now, it's their imagination portrayed onto the film, right? Now, this doesn't apply everywhere because there are some masterpieces directed really well and depicted so good through cinematography. For example, movies like Interstellar and movies like that. Like, you can't really imagine it the way the director has done it and depicted it through cinematography. But that doesn't apply everywhere. And I think usually when there is a novel or there's a comic book or there is a book about a plot or about a fiction or about anything, reading it and understanding it through your perspective, through your point of view, is a bit more amazing than just watching it how the director or the movie writer or the movie maker portrayed it. So while we're reading something, we're imagining it happening in our heads, and we understand it as the way our mind perceives it, right? And the most beautiful thing about that is every different individual is going to perceive it in a different way, because everyone's mind works in a different way. Everyone's imagination level are different from each other's, right? And I think that's one of the most fascinating thing about it, and that is one of the most biggest thing which fascinates me about reading. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying movies are not amazing. I think some of the movies are so good and the story is depicted in such a beautiful way that a lot of people enjoy it so much, right? But I think one of the most beautiful things humans have is their imaginations. Through their imagination, they can do anything, right? Their imagination can go to levels that may not be possible in reality, but it is possible in your imagination, right? So that is one of the biggest reason why I think reading is better than watching something. Let me get back to it. When you're reading something, you're reading it through your own point of view. Of course, the basic plot of something is going to be the same. The basic plot of that story is going to be the same for the reader or the watcher, right? But when you're reading something, you're going through it and you're imagining all of it in your head. So as your mind understands what you're reading, it makes pictures in your head, because mind works like that. Mind makes pictures in your head to understand what's happening, right? If you think about a ghost beneath a closet or something, you will see a ghost. Why? Because your mind makes pictures of what you're thinking or imagining or believing, right? So that is why I think when you read something, you imagine it through your mind, right? And there is a character which is in your brain which you think looks that way and acts the way it is written in the book, but looks that way when he does that or she does that, right? But when we come to the part of the movie, you're only watching it happen played by an actor, right? An actor is playing that character. I'm not taking it away from the movies. I'm not taking it away from the actors. They can be fucking beautiful when they do their job. But all I'm saying is, when you think about that character, the first thing that comes to your mind is that actor. And that character that the actor is playing. Not the character which was in your brain, depicted by your own self, depicted by your own imagination while reading the book. And I think if you understood my point, that is the beauty about reading books. And that's why I think, personally, reading books is better than watching the same plot, or watching a movie about the same plot. I think that's all I had to say today, and I don't know if what I blurred out made sense, but it's been a while since I made any videos, and I have been thinking about this since a while, and I thought I'll make a video about it. Comment down below if you liked it or you want me to talk about these kind of things more. And yeah, thank you for watching.